Welcome, 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 folks. Welcome, welcome. We see you coming in today. Welcome from the waiting room. I hope you had a chance to get a few deep breaths in there. I hope you're entering with your feet on the ground. Hope you're entering with perhaps some excitement today for some of you. Some curiosity for some of the rest of you who've never been with us before. Welcome to the Compassion Consortium. I'm one of the co-founders of this organization, Reverend Sarah Bowen, and I'll be guiding our service today with the help of a whole host of other folks who help keep the consortium thriving, including Reverend Marshall Hammer, Reverend Ginny Mikita, Animal Chaplains Jen Baker and Elaine Hutchison, and our technical director there on the bridge, Phil DeJean. William and Victoria are not with us in person today, our other co-founders, but if you join us in July, you'll see their shining faces. And I'd be remiss not to mention our amazing advisory board, guided by Dave Simon. We are so grateful for their support and their creative ideas. And to all of you, we are so glad you're here with us today. We know that for many of you, this is your first time with us. And because today is a very special service, perhaps honoring one of your friends or family members who's been journeying as part of our animal chaplaincy program. So just a very quick intro for you who are new to the Compassion Consortium, followed by some opening thoughts to get us started. We are an interfaith, interspiritual, and interspecies community that was formed in order to provide a space for conversations about human-animal bonds and human-animal conflicts and the intersections of those relationships with spiritual, philosophical, and religious beliefs and systems. Interfaith means we welcome people of any spiritual or religious tradition or system of meaning making, anything goes. Interspiritual means we believe underneath all of that, underneath the particularities and the specificities of the world's wisdom, traditions, and ways of thinking, we can find a deeper unity of experience and a desire for peace and service to the earth community, if we look closely enough. And interspecies means we desire to have a truly inclusive spiritual community that rejects that thing called human superiority and considers the needs of the many species that we share the planet with. For example, I'm speaking to you today from the Hudson Valley, an area in New York that's home to more than 200 kinds of fish, 19 kinds of rare birds, 140 rare plants, one of which, the Hudson River water nymph, grows nowhere else on Earth. I share my house with 2 cats, a human, a lot of little creepy crawly folks at various times of the year, occasionally a mouse, and I share my outside habitat with plentiful eastern gray squirrels and chipmunks and red-tailed hawks, and right now an incredible number of spongy moths who are having a buffet on the oaks and the walnuts, which is increasingly hard to wrap my head around and quite an ethical dilemma. All of these beings I live with have unique joys and challenges. So please take a moment to consider who is in your habitat today. Outside your window or down at your feet. If you're not near a window and no one's near your feet, use your imagination. Who's in your habitat? What needs do they have? What challenges do they face? Being an interfaith, interspiritual, and interspecies community is endlessly amazing and quite complicated sometimes, especially when it comes to what we're going to talk about in our short time together today. We meet once a month for Sunday service. Each month brings at least 30 spiritual holidays we could choose from, and an uncountable number of animal-human issues we could focus our attention on. This month is no exception. June brings us Pride Month, Hey folks, happy Pride, where we celebrate the sexual and gender diversity of humans and animals on the earth, from gay penguins to intersex bears and agender whiptail lizards. The animal kingdom is incredibly diverse. Consider for a moment the coral fish society called the bluehead wrasse. Okay, check this out. They develop their sex distinction not at birth, but just before becoming sexually mature, at puberty. At that point, three possibilities appear for this fish: a male who remains male for life, a female who remains female for life, and a female who later becomes male. Amazingly, this flexibility is triggered by changes in the social organization of the group. Biologists have revealed that more than 50 species of coral fish are capable of this type of transsexuality. If this idea is new to you and you're scratching your head saying, I'm not sure about what Sarah is offering us here, I urge you to look into the wide diversity of sex, gender, and sexuality in the animal kingdom. I gave you a link in the chat to check out. In terms of religious holidays, this month gives us Shavuot in the Jewish tradition, the day of Hajj in Islam, Litha in Wicca, summer solstice, observance of the martyrdom of Guru Arjan Dev for the Sikhs, Madariki for the Aboriginal and Maori peoples of New Zealand, and the Dragon Boat Festival in China. I've just scratched the surface. We're also on the cusp of Juneteenth here in the US and World Refugee Day worldwide. And of course, today is a day that is set aside for celebrating fathers and people who include in their lives fathering actions, who also play an important role in a child's development. Happy Father's Day to all of you who are dads in any shape or form, and for those of you who feel daddish. Happy Father's Day to the dads we miss, because they have left this planet for the whatever is next. We miss you. Considering our full pack lives, there are so many things we could celebrate today. There's so many things which we might have brought up pain in us this past month too. So take a moment now and think about what your June has been like so far. What are you worrying about? And what are you celebrating? Notice that you can have two seemingly conflicting emotional states existing in you at the same time. Heartbreak and celebration. Take a moment to honor how this reflection feels in your body, your mind, and your spirit. However you are feeling today, whatever you are celebrating or wrestling with, we hope your time with us will feel supportive and nourishing for you. You'll notice that right now, your videos are turned off and you don't have the ability, even if you try, to turn them on. That's to try to keep the sacred part of this service going right now without distraction from folks who might come, who want to celebrate something that we're not celebrating today. It might be distracting. Later on in the service, you'll have the ability to show you are here and to celebrate each other. For the rest of the service today, we'll be focusing our attention on a very, very special group of people within the Compassion Consortium who've been traveling for 9 months along with our animal chaplaincy training program. It might have seemed like 9 years for some of them. We pack a lot of content into nine months. And this Saturday, they will become ordained as animal chaplains together in a private sacred ceremony. I'll be talking a little bit later about what the heck ordination is and what chaplains do. and we'll be introducing you to these amazing beings. But first, I thought it might be more interesting to have you experience what animal chaplains offer to experience animal chaplains and animal chaplaincy. So let's do that. We're going to start off today with Reverend Ginny Mikita, who is the co-director of our advanced ACT program and also the class chaplain for the first year of our chaplaincy program and a dear, dear part of this team. Ginny, will you begin our invocation and get us started?
I would be happy to do that. This is an invocation for the more than just human world. The world includes a vast diversity of beings, yet we don't always consider them. They remain invisible to us either due to their location or due to our inability to see them even when they are present. Today, we join our voices together to invite them into this space. As we do so, we extend compassion from our hearts to species of all genders, of fathers and mothers, of those who offer fathering or mothering care, of those of all sexualities, and of all places on the globe, and of all shapes, sizes, and colors, including the purple beings. A violet-backed starling, an orchid dottyback, a purple firefish, and the blue beings. A blue jay, a little blue heron, an eastern indigo snake, the blue whale, and even the blue poison dart frog. The green beings, a European green lizard, a green-headed tanager, and a great green bush cricket. The yellow beings, a golden retriever, a banana slug, the Asian golden weaver, the Panamanian golden frog, the apple snail, the yellow tang, and the yellow jacket and wasp. The orange beings, the Sumatran orangutan, the orange nectar bat, and the monarch butterfly. And finally, the red beings, the scarlet ibis, a tomato frog, and the red kangaroo. Take a deep breath and consider who we might not have named from the 20 quintillion other than human beings with whom we share the planet. Please now take a moment to call in silently or aloud additional species or individual animals, animal spirits, or species for whom you would like us to include in this sacred space. And now I believe that Jen Baker is going to read our tenets. Thank you.
We acknowledge a divine force at the heart of the universe and in all living beings. We may refer to this force as God, but it is known by many names and appears in different forms or as formless. We recognize the common moral principles inherent with all wisdom traditions. We affirm that compassion, reverence for life, and nonviolence are fundamental to religious faith and moral philosophy and are to be extended to all sentient beings. We stand by the principles of inclusion, diversity, and equality, and hold these as essential in our human relations. We hold that non-human animals are imbued with the same essence of life and love as are human animals, and that there is moral parity between us. We avow that humans do not own the earth, its resources, or its inhabitants, but instead must be involved in their protection and care. We endeavor to eat and live in a kind and sustainable manner, moving away from animal foods and animal-derived clothing, as well as any activities that cause harm to our fellow beings, human or otherwise. We aim to provide spiritual comfort, fellowship, and food for thought to those practicing or exploring a vegan lifestyle. We offer guidance and peer support for those seeking a more compassionate and spiritual life. We commit to sharing these principles freely with humility and respect in support of non-human animals and the earth.
That is Jen Baker, our special events coordinator, and also herder of, can I say herder? Do we say that word around here? Herder of alumni herder. Thank you, Jen, so much. The tenets that you just heard are the basis on which the Compassion Consortium was founded, and they're the inspiration for all the programs we create. What we want to do is extend to all of the beings that were pictured, that Jenny talked about, and all the ones that are in our mind, quintillions of beings that we share this earth with. As well, we are 0.01% of life on earth. So the Compassion Consortium is concerned with also raising up the needs and the concerns of the 99.99% of life on this planet that is not human. Those who might remain unseen, unnamed, in peril, as well as those who are loved and live in our homes and around us. Within the Animal Chaplaincy Program, we explore lots of questions humans have about what to do when animals are scared, or they're acting off, or they're injured or sick, or they get lost and they die. Whether those are animal companions, or those are other animals for whom we care for or are trying to protect. The stress and grief that we humans experience during these moments are real. And yet they're often invalidated or outright denied because the being that we're concerned about is not human. Have you ever had that experience? Care and concern for a living being and been told, oh, you're overdoing it. You don't feel it. Don't worry about it. Remember how that feels in the heart, to be invalidated about something you care about, a principle, or someone you care about, a who. We study scientific literature about what biologists, ethologists, neurologists, animal behaviorists, thanatologists, animal theologians think about illness and injury and death experiences, and what those might be like for other species, and what might be useful for them at those times. And we look at practices and rituals that animals perform themselves during pain or illness, or when they witness the death of one of their kind, or sometimes the death of members of other species. We watch a video of a lot of turkey vultures circling a passed on cat. We read about elephants who bury sleeping humans under foliage because they think they're dead and perhaps need to be honored. What a way to wake up, having been buried accidentally by a human. But these things tell us that animals also think and have responses to life and death. We look at the wisdom available in the world's spiritual traditions for rituals that can help bring comfort and meaning and pain to people who are in pain, people who are caring for animals or trying to protect animals. And all of this exploration often leads to profound changes in how our animal chaplains see the world. They develop rituals and practices to help animals, humans, and even themselves process the loss of life on Earth. I'd like to share with you a few today, just a few that show the range of how this can be done. From lives you might have considered, like a cat or dog living in your home, to some you might not have, like a wolf or a burned tree or a gnat. As we view these pieces, I invite you to notice the thoughts and feelings that you have. What does it bring up in you when you watch these practices. Mahavira, the spiritual teacher in the Jain tradition, who reflected in the 6th century BCE, quite a few years ago, a profound respect for all life forms that's central to Jain philosophy. And if you've never looked up Jain philosophy, do it, Jain. A quote attributed to him says, "All beings are fond of themselves. They like pleasure. They hate pain. They shun destruction. They long to live. To all, life is dear. Not to all humans, but to all, life is dear." These words encapsulate the principle of ahimsa, or nonviolence, that you might hear in Jain traditions, in Hindu traditions, in yoga philosophy, or just from your neighbor, emphasizing that every living being, no matter how small, might value their own life. Our emerging animal chaplain, Jackie Salling, took this belief to heart in one of her practices. So Phil, could you roll the video from Jackie, Funeral for a Gnat, please?
Dear Natty, may you feel loved and that you mattered. May you know that you were noticed and honored. May you spread your tiny wings as you soar into your next best life.
In her reflection about this video, Jackie noted, I found Natty drowned in my bathtub just as I was getting ready to drain it. I scooped him out of the water and placed him on the side of my tub. I knew I had to honor him in a special way. What isn't conveyed in the video is that we were experiencing a 5-day ice storm. So Natty was ritualized on the side of the tub for 4 of those days until it was safe to go outside for a proper burial. I couldn't bear putting Natty out when it was so cold. Notice how it feels to consider a life this small. Do you feel a moment of empathy? Do you feel something watching the beauty of what Jackie offered us? Or do you feel yourself pushing aside the consideration of a life that small as preposterous? Come on, a gnat. Or do you find yourself somewhere in between? Notice what it feels like to consider the possibility that a gnat's life might be, as Mahavira noted around 500 BC, precious to them, and also precious to Jackie, and now perhaps precious to some of us. Of course, animal chaplains can also help people create sacred memorials to honor beloved animal companions with a sacred send-off. That's a lot of the work we do. This year, we witnessed numerous feline and canine memorials precious to each of the students who offered them for their own animal companions or as they were asked by friends and family members. In this last 3 months of the program, they've been stretching out to offering their services to veterinary practices, to animal shelters, to sanctuaries. Our animal chaplains provide companioning where they work with people through the grief they feel after those rituals by providing one-on-one support for them. Rituals, these kind of actions that we take where we try to do a way of honoring a being in a way that is sacred, that may have some beauty involved, meaning imbued. Rituals can also be helpful for handling our emotions when something surprisingly brutal happens to an animal, so that we can be able to continue our activism on behalf of that animal or that species. I invite you to ground yourself a little as we begin to watch our next video. Although there is no violent imagery in it, our emerging animal chaplain, Jessica Hoffman, is going to describe an incident that shocked many of us to our core in April, as we heard about a wolf who was tortured in Wyoming. If you heard me say that and thought, not sure for me, feel free to put your volume down for the next few minutes. But if you have the courage and the resiliency today to be able to listen to Jessica's ritual for a wolf, I think it's well worth it to see the way that ritual can help those of us who are activists and are drowning in grief and heartbreak. I had to edit this a little bit. It's about 7 minutes. I cut it down so you'll see some cuts just to make it fit into the format of today. Sorry, Jessica. I hope I grabbed the good bits. But Phil, if you could play that for us, and I invite you all to a ritual for a wolf.
Good morning, everyone. So I do want to start this off by saying and sharing that this video will contain a little bit of detail about a situation where there was cruelty and horrible cruelty to a wolf. And so I wanted to start by sharing that in case you want to scroll on and not pay attention to this. But I also want to share that this video is intended to support people who deeply love and care for animals and for planet Earth, and offer ways to honor and build resiliency within the pain and suffering that we feel and we see as we witness things that unfold and occur in this world. Taking a moment to ground your body wherever you are, noticing what it feels like to have your feet on the earth or on the floor, noticing what the sensations in your hands feel like, noticing the breath, and centering in love and peace. And so it is. So in this situation, there was a wolf in Wyoming. And I have not read detailed accounts of this, because reading one or two accounts or one or two articles about it was enough for my sensitive heart to bear witness to. But I'm going to share what I think I know, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. So there was a wolf in Wyoming who a gentleman named Cody ran over this wolf with a snowmobile, taped her mouth shut, and she was a young wolf, and paraded her through a restaurant or a bar, and then killed her. So, you know, when I first heard about this, I was deeply, deeply overwhelmed with sadness, rage. Like, I can't, in my heart, understand why somebody would think that was entertaining. And so I felt a myriad of feelings, and I cried, and I allowed myself the expression of those tears. And then it was like, okay, what can I do? Is there an action that I can take in support of wolves? And then how can I honor this life? How to build resiliency in the face of suffering. So I took action, and then yesterday I did a little ritual for this female wolf, because surely whatever comes next is better than what she experienced at the end of her life. You too can tap into resiliency around witnessing of suffering, and you know, for me, I do believe there's a continuity of existence beyond death. And so that is a piece that I'm going to bring in to this, but that's not something that you have to do. And I also want to offer that if you are a deeply, highly sensitive human being, and it's hard for you to witness suffering, reach out to me and we can have a conversation about how to build resiliency and how to cope and heal in a world that has a lot of suffering. I have named the female wolf Star, and that's just what continuing in my meditation yesterday, that continued to come up and bubble up as her name. Maybe it's not, but I'm going to call her Star, and I am going to light a candle for Star. And in the lighting of this candle, I really hold the beauty and wholeness of this young female wolf. I let go and I release the images that I have seen of her where she was suffering and in pain, and I hold the beauty, the wholeness, the bigness, and the vastness of her spirit in my heart. So this lighting of this candle is for Star. And then placing my hands over my heart, I breathe in and I picture Star in her wholeness, free, happy, at peace. And then I've written on a piece of paper, Star, the female wolf in Wyoming, with a little heart on it. very simple. And what I'm going to do is I am going to light this, and I'm going to put it in a container and with the flames. So let's just go ahead. Star, the female wolf in Wyoming. I am so sorry, sweet Star, that the end of your life was full of so much pain and suffering. And I bear witness and presence to that pain and suffering that you experienced, while knowing and feeling in my heart that you are being returned, that you have returned, that your pain and your suffering is in fact over, and that whatever pain and suffering that you experienced in this life, that it be done. May you be and know and experience the peace and love of what I choose to call God. May you be returned to a state of wholeness, state of wellness. May your body be free. May your soul be free. May you be free. And with a deep breath in, and holding it at the top, see the flames burning away the pain and the suffering that she experienced in this life. And I see her in my mind's eye, running free, at peace.
And I see her in my eye, running free and at peace. Thank you, Jessica, for that raw expression of the emotion we can all feel when faced with animal abuse, and the power of using action and then of using ritual to honor an animal and to steady ourselves when we need to act fiercely on their behalf to try to prevent future horrors from happening. If I had time to show you all Jessica's full video, you would see at the end that she grapples with her emotions about the humans involved in the torture of this animal, that she acknowledges her anger and how she's working with that in ritual and action as well. My preacher father used to say when asked, well, does prayer do anything? He would say, I don't know that prayer changes things, but prayer changes people, and people change things. So if this ritual is something that is new to you, and the thought of burning paper, taking away pain, feels to you a little skeptical, it's okay to hold that thought. And at the same time, to be able to see the profound impact that it had on Jessica, and that it might have had on some of us in this room today, processing what happened to this wolf. Jessica has told me that her animal chaplaincy path has led her back to the familiar space of animal shelters where her journey began. She's going to be volunteering at the Kentucky Humane Society, sharing the gentle energy practice of Reiki with animals in need, and helping the dedicated caregivers there with practices that build resiliency. She has a deep calling to nurture her own sensitivity, but also to show others how to honor and care for the beautiful wildlife that grace our world, to plant seeds and nurture change within the heart of the horse racing industry, and to offer solace and support to animals and people as they navigate life's tender transitions. Indeed, many of our animal chaplains are helping animals and earth activists with the emotions that we have. How many of you are activists and have emotions where you're like, sometimes with what's going on in the world? We'll do that again. How can I manage all of this? How can I manage all of how I am feeling and what I am reading and what I don't want to see and what I scroll past and then feel bad about scrolling past? So our animal chaplains do one-on-one work with people, helping them create plans for working with things. They create resources for mental well-being. They offer workshops for organizations and peer support groups in their communities, and they staff crucial support helplines. What about when an entire species is lost? Our emerging animal chaplain, Julie Matson, takes on that topic in our next video. Take a deep breath as we enter habitat with Julie to honor a lost species.
With each step through nature's majesty, I honor the loss of species and habitat by the hands of humans. May other species carry on your memory and knowledge to teach their young and to keep the tradition of your legacy sparked with an energy of balance and knowing. May the streams carry our tears and mix together, creating a unity of love in this loss. May other animals continue to thrive despite your loss and not be affected by the devastation encountered by you. And may we learn from your loss what we as humans are capable of and begin our reparations towards a more balanced ecosystem of equality. And finally, may the rocks we tread on, the bones of the earth, help to give you a solid foundation as you transition from this earthly plane to the what's next for you. Amen.
How profound can a single minute shared in a group be? Many of our animal chaplains are able to use this short format to also attend to concerns on people's mind. Julie witnesses not only lost species, but also attends to the needs of living animals and humans in her community in Vancouver Island in the Pacific Northwest of Canada. We have students from Canada, Australia, France, Germany, Philippines, and the US. So we get all sorts of different practices. Animal chaplains can create practices to help show the potential possible from loss, seeing what can flourish where loss was. In this next practice, emerging animal chaplain Lars Pardo invites us into a meditation on a forest reborn. After this, we'll have 2 other short practices and then introduce you to all of these amazing beings. Take a deep breath as we enter a 7-minute meditation, a longer practice, and watch a forest reborn.
Does all art originate in nature? Let us explore some of the resilience we find in our environment. In this cedar stump, for example, we find an ending and we find a beginning. In its almost iridescent shades of green, of algae and lichen transitioning to moss, serving at times as a food source and nesting material. Occasionally, we can discover small holes and caves carved into this ancient ruin, which provide habitat for small mammals, amphibians, and sometimes snakes. Within this pockmarked microcosm, we can imagine worms, spiders laying traps, beetles scurrying about their business, Such drama is played out here daily. But this is winter, when insects find warmth below the frost line and bury themselves deep within their food source. These two tendrils belong to a huckleberry bush. And here we can imagine a mouse-sized shaded deck. Perhaps our rodent friend is living in this little hole. And here's a shrub growing on top of this nurse stump. Its root system penetrating deep within the heart of the tree. When in bloom, how many animals will this huckleberry bush provide food for? And when we breathe in through our mouth, we can almost taste the musty smell of decaying wood. From its decaying body, an entire ecosystem has been born. The death of one has become the birth of another, a source of new life.
The death of one becomes the beginning of another. How we bring hope to loss. Of this practice, Lars offers, though the form has changed from cedar to huckleberry, from tree to a shrub, we show here the benign coexistence of science, the first law of thermodynamics, with spirituality, life after death or resurrection, and how art can be the interface between the two. Animal chaplains can also provide opportunities for humans to interact with animals they wouldn't normally interact with, in hopes of raising awareness of the issues those animals face, from previously farmed animals living on sanctuaries to surrendered animals in shelters to rescued animals and the folks they are caring for themselves. Which brings me to our next to last video, emerging animal chaplain Ginny Joseph, who garnered a ton of TV news coverage this spring for her innovative interspecies practice cleverly titled Do Nothing with Donkeys. Genie offers workshops where people do exactly that, nothing, in the presence of rescued donkeys. This offers a very practical tool for helping overwhelmed humans learn how to mindfully attend to their body, minds, and spirits. Here's a tiny little glimpse into the practice. Of course, it's also possible to help ourselves and animals thrive by doing things with them. So for our last video, I'll show you one of those. This year, we saw dozens of new interspecies practices developed by this cohort. Here's one I think many of you could try at home this month from emerging animal chaplain Lisa Lyle Waggoner, who's a passionate advocate for humane, science-based, force-free dog training. She's a certified professional dog trainer and a faculty member of the Victoria Stilwell Academy for Dog Training and Behavior, and is certified in separation anxiety training as well. Most of all, she says, though, she's a dog mom who loves her dog beyond measure. So take a deep breath and let's experience a small taste of her canine practice. Sometimes our animals can have a hard time settling down, just like we do. But bringing them into our meditation practices can have beneficial impacts. Watch Lisa and Keaton here for a glimpse into both of them trying to settle down.
Keaton seems like he wants to join me, as he most often does. And sit in a seated position that's comfortable for you. Your hands can be either palm down on your knees or palm up with your thumb and forefinger touching. And take 3 deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And now be still. Let your thoughts drift away of anything that is other than this moment. and focus on the energy exchange between you and the animal who may be with you. Breathe at whatever cadence is comfortable for you, and we'll be still for a few minutes. I like to bring the tongue off to the roof of my mouth to relax in my mouth as I breathe. You bring your thoughts back to your forehead, your focus back to your forehead, and open your eyes to a soft, downward facing view. If your animal has joined you during this time of meditation, feel free to put your hands on your animal if they normally like being touched. And enjoy that interconnectedness, the very special being that we share the life with. Bring your hands together into your heart center and give thanks to the universe for some quiet time and interconnectedness, some meditation time with Doggo. Thank you for joining us.
Notice how you feel. Consider if this might be a practice you'd like to try in your home or a facility where animals are sheltered or sanctuaried or kept captive. What impact might interspecies meditation have on them? It's important for me to note that in addition to becoming animal chaplains, the folks we've just highlighted and the rest of our cohort have an impressive amount of degrees and expertises beyond that which they've gained from us. We have pastors and rabbis, PhDs, MSWs, and veterinarians, hospital chaplains, animal behaviorists, Reiki practitioners, and well-being professionals, and all sorts of other things. It's an incredibly wise, compassionate, diverse group of people. And I wish we had another 5 hours for me to showcase the work of every one of them, though Phil is glad I don't. I'm sick. The videos are over, Phil. I wish we had time to show you everything these amazing beings have created. They have integrated our curriculum with their deep expertise and their life experiences to create some of the most creative and useful practices, rituals, workshops, liturgical offerings, and educational programs I have ever seen. The talent in this group, lovingly called the Green Wood Dragons due to their Chinese zodiac sign, is impressive. I hope the practices I've just shared with you, in lieu of a traditional graduation speech, have provided you a glimpse into the many ways animal chaplains provide support for both animals and humans by using the tools of interspecies practices, ritual creation, deep listening, and caring companionship. And with that, I'd like to transition our time over to animal chaplain Elaine Hutchison and our good friend Dr. Jeff Feinman to talk about why helping animals thrive and supporting their vitality is an important part of compassion in action. After that, we will introduce the students to you and hope that you will help us whoop it up. Elaine, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Sarah. And as Sarah said, our guest today is the wonderful Dr. Jeff Feinman. He's a founder and the creator of Holistic Actions. It's an online community that shows how powerfully holistic healthcare for animals and traditional veterinary medicine can work when they're used in tandem and not in opposition to each other. For Dr. Jeff, there's no gap between the energy of conventional sciences and the energy of spiritual truths. He combines his knowledge and a keen curiosity of molecular biology and veterinary medicine and holistic healing to help empower pet parents to create a better life for their animals. So welcome, Dr. Jeff. So glad you're here.
Thank you, Elaine. Thank you, and congratulations. I didn't realize you were in this cohort.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I'm
Thank you. Thank you.
Tag now. I'm very honored. And it's a great group of folks. I wanted to start off by asking you about our habits of going to traditional veterinarians. Many of us are animal guardians, pet parents, and there are situations of like your dog is hit by a car or your horse is colicking, and that's when immediate veterinary care is necessary. But it seems like there are so many times that we default to taking our animals to the vet when it may not be necessary, like maybe diarrhea or they're coughing or, they're running a slight temperature. Why are we so quick to run to the vet when we see a symptom? Do you think it's like cultural conditioning, or we have been trained just to think that's the best path to health for our animals?
Yeah, I do think it's cultural conditioning very much so, and it stems from our disconnection from spirit, from the energy of life, and our fear of what a symptom might mean, and only a power authority that we see in the veterinarian can really tell us what to do, when the reality is our animals are always telling us what to do, and they often will have symptoms which are connected. The symptoms are connected to everything going on around them, because that's the way their bodies react to life. And there is a set of symptoms called beam: behavior, energy, appetite, and mood. And if beam is high, or 10, it's 100%. Beam is usually 8 or above, and have a symptom. You don't need to run right to the vet. You maybe look at the whole situation and figure out what might be going on. Obviously, if it's an emergency situation, the first thing you may want to do is go right to your vet, just to put things into context.
Okay, thank you. I'm one of those people that question, should I go or not go? And you mentioned symptoms. You approach symptoms through a holistic and spiritual lens. And you've mentioned that many physical symptoms have spiritual basis. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I missed the end of your question, but I think you're asking about the connection between spirit and symptoms. And for me, spirit is a form of energy, universal life force, and symptoms are the body's expression of that energy balance in the body, in their bodies. And there is a direct connection, whether it is the spirit of food you're feeding, the love you're giving, the lifestyle they're living, or some clue their body is trying to give us that something is going on physiologically. So all 100% of those symptoms are a reflection of spirit. And those symptoms may manifest externally, like you can see with the beam, or internally, via blood. You can see it via blood tests or other diagnostic tests. And that's part of why the two paradigms, the more spiritual and holistic paradigm and the conventional mechanistic paradigms work so well together. But we need to know that they're able to work so well together and not be driven by the fear of what we think might happen.
Is there ever a time, conversely, can you hear me okay, Jeff? Okay. So one question I have is about your happiness protocol. I used it for my rescue from the Ukraine, and it helped her immensely. Can you talk a bit about that and why it's so important?
Sure, thank you for asking. The happiness protocol, like a lot of the actions that we teach and practice, are a form of biomimicry. So biomimicry is the body, using the nature to get the body or any part of nature to come into alignment with universal spirit. And the way animals and plants and all beings are in nature is in joy, in love, in happiness. And we're very fortunate. I'm very fortunate. I love my work so much because our animals are an expression of that spirit, and all they want to do is be happy and loving, and you just have to let them do that. And the happiness protocol is just an expression of that. It is finding what they love the most, using that as a biomimicry framework to get their bodies back in balance. And that balance, in molecular biology terms, is kind of flow, or like the flow, smooth flow of a river, energy flow in the body is that state where we're operating at our best. We know flow as an offshoot of positive psychology, and flow and positive psychology actually go very well together. And the happiness protocol is just a way of invoking that in our animals, and that we can do it every day. And I'll give you a quick example, and I think you did, but I couldn't hear it. One of our students in Spain, their dog was having a lot of GI symptoms, vomiting and diarrhea, and the beam was maybe down a little bit. But what they did, the dog's happiest thing is what we call therapeutic sniff walk, which is just going out and walking with your dog, making sure the leash stays nice and loose, and letting him sniff around and engage and connect. And when Anka came back, dog was pretty much back to normal. And the only action was the therapeutic sniff walk, which is, again, part of the happiness protocol. For some dogs as treats, for some cats as play. It depends on the individual.
Okay, I just switched mics, so I hope you can hear me better. Sorry about that. One thing I would like to ask, conversely, we talked about spiritual symptoms, physical symptoms having spiritual origins. Is there ever a time when a physical symptom has a physical origin that can be cured by spiritual means?
Oh, great question. I think the answer to that would be it depends. If my animal was hit by a car and he has pulmonary contusions, yes and no, in that if you visualize and realize that their body is destined to rebalance, and that our understanding of spirit is, in this case, just listening, accepting, and trusting what's going on, then yeah, I think that we can always help them spiritually. But I think that, the level of that depends on the symptom and the situation.
The severity and the chronic nature, if they're acute or not. One last question, which is a personal one. As a fan of the Krebs cycle, I was so glad to hear you say in a recent interview that mitochondrial energy is spiritual energy. And you quoted Einstein as mass is energy as well. Can you expound just a little bit more on that before we sign off? Sorry.
It's going to end up boring people, but yes, mitochondria are the little powerhouses that live in every cell of the body and are the only physiological way. It's the only way that we, as scientists, understand energy and energy as spirit, and all the spiritual practices like love and awe and connection and happiness protocol have been shown to increase mitochondrial metabolism, optimize flow, and improve performance in every way, in every disease studied. So yeah, it all comes back to energy. Energy is everything.
I love
love, life, energy. So all that you need is love.
Thank the Beatles. Yeah, so thank you, Dr. Jeff. And I want to mention to people here that if you go to Jeff's site, holisticactions.com, it is a wealth of information. I mean, treasure boxes, truckloads. It is a member site, which means only members can ask questions, but anybody can go in there and search for answers in the forums. Also, the YouTube channel has 145 videos with some really smart people. So, Dr. Jeff, I wanted to thank you. And also because so many times we have an adversarial view of holistic medicine and veterinary medicine. And I think the way you meld it together makes it so approachable for people. If they have questions or if they lean one towards the other, you have a lovely meeting ground and you're doing great work. So thank you. And thank you for all you do for the animals.
Thank you, Elaine. And for anyone that wants to start to learn the approach, I just put the free 101 course in the chat. So that course is again free and anyone can start to learn how to upgrade the mitochondria.
Great. Thank you. And thank you again for all you do. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Back to you, Sarah.
Thank you, Elaine. Thank you, Dr. Jeff. We always love to see Dr. Jeff. He comes in and talks in our ACT program as well. We love to be able to talk about science and spirituality in the same sentence and to be able to give them both their due. So thank you for showing how that can be done, Jeff, in a veterinary setting. We are now going to introduce you to the entire cohort who will be ordained beginning this Saturday. And many of them will be together in an immersive hybrid retreat. We are so very excited. I said this word ordination, and I have to unpack that just a second before we introduce you to them. You may wonder, what is ordination? In general, ordination is a process in which individuals are either consecrated or invested or formally appointed to some specific role within an organization. Here at the Compassion Consortium, ordination has two parts. The first is a sacred process, a very sacred process, which will happen this weekend, in which each individual makes their own commitment to themselves and to the more than just human world, to serve in a way that is specific to their unique beingness and doingness. So they are making a promise, a commitment, a vow to do the work that they need to do in this world. The second part is our organization's commitment to provide them ongoing support as they become cherished members of our community. It means we believe in them And I'd be so bold as to say it also means that we love them in a way that frankly transcends language, even though I'm trying to put words to it. We believe in them. We love them. They are part of our community. Ordination means these animal chaplains are part of us and we are part of them. And when I say we, I realize I'm speaking for a lot of people here, including our class chaplain and advanced certification program co-director, Ginny Mikita, who you met earlier, our alumni director, and Jen Baker, who you met earlier, our director of partnerships, Jill Angelo, our retreat coordinator, Jody Jacobs, who's probably huddled over her desk, dealing with all the final details that we're trying to get done in the next week, and our fabulous alumni who play various roles. But most especially, when I say we, I include our ACT program coordinator, Rev Marshall Hammer, which is going to make me cry. Marshall offers ongoing support for the cohort alongside me in so many amazing and beautiful, beautiful ways. And so I joyfully cede the floor for a few of her observations about the green wood dragons.
Thank you, Sarah. Well, it's my delight to recognize this extraordinary group of individuals, the Dragons Cohort. Over these past months, those of us walking alongside them have been privileged to witness their mind-stretching and hearts-opening in profound ways as they have integrated the course materials and teachings. From the start, the Dragons have demonstrated an eagerness to learn, to question deeply, and to fully embody this sacred work. Their questions have inspired poignant discussions and insights in both the larger community of their classes and in their flight groups. Each of these individuals came to us from different life paths and fields of connection with animals. They brought their personal worlds of knowledge to the learning process. And it is clear, they also brought their hearts. Their thoughtful reflections and beautifully crafted practices, like some of the ones you saw earlier, have been awe-inspiring. Through it all, they have upheld a loving container and supported one another. They have shown tremendous grace and care around the losses that have taken place this year, of which there have been many. They have shown genuine care to one another and also to me in response to the recent loss of my canine companion Prior, who they referred to as their classmate. They have thoughtfully nurtured the sacred connections between all beings. Their courage to be vulnerable and to wrestle with the many mysteries and difficult realities in our world has been deeply moving to witness. In all of these ways, the Dragons have honored both the human-animal bond and the more than human world so tenderly. So we celebrate the Dragons with boundless affection. The light they have sparked will radiate out in infinite ripples as they embark in broadening their chaplaincies. We hope they will continue to connect with one another in this collective heart that they have developed together. I have so much gratitude to have walked this path alongside such an engaged, caring, and remarkable cohort. And with Sarah too. Thank you.
Thank you, Marshall. Well said. I know, folks, that we are getting towards the end of our time here together. And so let us not do anything else beyond celebrate these folks. Here they are. And please know that we have been traveling with them on a first name basis so much that if we tweak a last name, please offer us grace. All of you, you have the ability to show your faces with your video, so please do that while we're showing the slides first of you, and then we will congratulate your live faces after this. Please help us celebrate Animal Chaplains Adele Christensen, Alex Peters, Alice Marcotuli, and Angela Elric.
Please help us celebrate Animal Chaplains Aaron Dahl, Asher Nakshin, Aurora Hunt, and Carla Gentry.
Please help us celebrate Animal Chaplain Sherry Hellman, Christina Fitz, Daniel Burek, and Deb Benario Martin.
Please help us celebrate Animal Chaplains Denise Schaefer, Elaine Hutchison, Estella Torres, and Genie Joseph.
And also please help us celebrate Animal Chaplains Gigi Alexander, Jackie Salling, Janet Madden, and Jerry Okamata Tanaka.
And help us celebrate Animal Chaplains Jessica Hoffman, Julia Helmke, Julie Matson, and Karen Kohler.
We also celebrate Animal Chaplains Christy Zahn, Christina Miller, Lars Pardo, and Lisa Lyle Waggoner.
We celebrate Animal Chaplains Louise Green, Mark Newman, Mary Ann Bombera, and Melissa Hubble.
And all of these faces amazing. Please also keep helping us celebrate Animal Chaplains Michelle Carrera, Noelle Noli, Paula Ford, and Paula Newman, a pair of Paulas.
And continue helping us celebrate Animal Chaplains Renee Athay, Robin Bishop, Sharon Wilkes, and Sarah Wilkes and Sharon Martin.
Help us celebrate Animal Chaplains Sophie Gamond, Stacy Dodd, Stephanie Aaron, and Susie Silver.
And help us celebrate Animal Chaplains Terry Ray Goldsworthy, Terry Van Slyke, Turi Brando, and Valerie Richards.
We'd also like to celebrate some Animal Chaplain journeyers who have been joining us this year. Beth Mandelbaum, Tina Cruz, and John Parker. If someone, Phil, go to the next one. If someone you know finds themselves in needs of an animal chaplain, you can please have them visit our directory, findanimalchaplain.com, to view the profiles of all of these amazing people and find one that is suited to your specific needs. Phil, if you could go to the last slide here, and then we will celebrate folks and make sure their videos are on. Marshall spoke of Hammer. Marshall spoke of Prior Hammer. The Reverend Dr. Prior Elias Hammer Esquire. I don't know. He has so many titles by this point. And we really, really will miss Prior, who was with us for both the Year of the Rabbits and the Year of the Greenwood Dragons. In honor of this amazing canine member of our team, we have created the Prior Hammer Memorial Scholarship Fund to provide helpfulness funding to a new student who will be entering our program to offset the cost of their program if they are working with canines. If you would like to help celebrate the graduates today and contribute to that scholarship fund to help someone come through this program who really would like to and is feeling very called to work with canines, the link is in the chat. Phil, could you please double check that? Oh, nope. Take the slides away for a moment for us. And if you could double check that folks can turn their videos on. I'm getting some precious little pings that say, I can't. And we would love to be able to see their faces. Here they come. And if you are here celebrating one of these amazing beings too, and you would like them to know that you are here, please also show your video if you would like to be able to whoop it up with us as we are. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to see your faces. I see you guys waving. I see some of this, some jazz hands, some hell yes. I don't have to read another book list from a couple of them. We are so very, very delighted to see all of your faces. And I hope, chaplains, that you will take a look around at the names or the faces of the folks who have come here to support you. There is a very large crowd of folks here, and that tells me that you are loved not only by us, but also by a great many other two-leggeds, four-leggeds, and other folks. So please continue to keep showing your video here. We want to get into fellowship with you in just a moment. I would like to thank all of you gathered here today to support this cohort. Thank you for your ongoing support of them and of the animals you come into contact with in your own lives. Thanks to the entire team at Compassion Consortium for supporting the program that helped these folks integrate their deep well of knowledge with animal chaplaincy, and the incredible ACT team that makes all of this possible. This team is amazing. If any of you are attending this service today and feel yourselves called to enroll, you won't be a green wood dragon, but you'll be something else starting this fall. The link is in the chat. Please consider coming aboard and joining us. We will have a final blessing, and then we'll have a time for you all to unmute yourselves and be able to announce to each other whatever's on your mind. Ginny, could you come lead us in our final Sunday service blessing?
I would be honored to. What a delight to see everybody's faces. We close today in the way we close all of our Sunday services, with a blessing. Today, please join me in saying these words, offering them to all beings present here, especially our new chaplains, all spoken of and all on our minds as we leave this place. May all creatures everywhere be happy and free. May the thoughts, words, and actions of our lives contribute to this happiness and this freedom for all. May it be so. Amen. Amin. So mote it be. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you for joining us for the Sunday service. Stick around for fellowship.
Thank you, Ginny. And right before fellowship, Jen has some brief announcements for us for what's coming up, and then we'll let you all be able to unmute. Jen, floor is yours.
Hey. Thank you for sharing Sunday service with us today. Just a reminder, if you'd like to repeat or share any of the practices from any of our services, you can find them right on our YouTube. Catch all past episodes, spiritual and meditative practices, plus guest interviews at youtube.com/Compassion Consortium. Click subscribe to get notified of new videos in case you can attend one that you'd like to. If you join us for our Sunday service on July 21st, featuring our special spiritual guest, Ellie Likes from A Gentle Barn, we'll also be back to our normal service format with interspecies practices, compassion and action, blessings, prayers, a new song of compassion, and fellowship breakouts after the service. And then just a few reminders about upcoming events. Reverend Sarah is putting together links for all of these in the chat for you. Join Compassion Consortium's Reverend Sarah, Judy Ramsey, and Amanda Reeve for a special animal spirituality and mindfulness retreat at Omega Institute in Rhinebeck, New York, from June 23rd to 28th. And the Compassion Consortium co-founder, Victoria Moran, is offering a wonderful one-day self-care workshop, Spiritual Self-Care with Ayurveda. The special event is being held at Lily Dale, a spiritualist community near Buffalo, New York, Friday, August 2nd, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. Just a couple more to share with you. Meditation time. Join our weekly online peaceful half hour of vegan-oriented meditation and mindful sharing with David Simon on every Monday evening. Our monthly companion animal loss and grief peer support group is facilitated by Reverend Ginny Mikita and open to the public, so please feel free to share it with your friends and family who are struggling with navigating loss. Details in the link in the chat. And the last one is that there won't be a engaged member practice in July as we all take a summer break for a bit. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Enjoy your vacation. Thank you for joining us today. And now we have some time to celebrate these amazing folks. If you are here and you have something you'd like to say, either as a participant in this program or to the participants of this program, please raise your hand by going down to the where it says reactions. You can click on reactions and say raise hand, and then we'll set you up and you can say whatever it is you'd like to say.
Shall I leave the recording on or turn it off?
Let's leave it on.
Okay. Here we go. And now opening everything to everybody. Hold on 1 second, please. All right. So let's see. Turning view to gallery. And now we see everybody. So now if you'd like to talk to anybody, now's your chance to use the raising hand thing. Okay.
Go for it, Judy.
All right. Unmute thyself.
There we go. I just want to congratulate all the dragons. This has been such a dynamic group, and I've had the honor of mentoring and meeting with and teaching some of you, and I have so appreciated your drive, your determination, and your commitment. So congratulations. I will be meeting some of you this Saturday because I will join you because I missed my own in-person graduation last year. I had to do it online. And I'll be looking forward to meeting some of you whom I've only seen online up to this point. So looking forward to meeting you, and congratulations.
Thank you, Judy. Yeah, folks, if you hear if you feel the ground underneath rumble Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, that's because a bunch of powerful people are going to be together at this retreat. Who knows what we're going to unleash?
All right. Who else is up to say something? Raise your hand. Use your hand raising tool.
So unmute thyself. Thank you very much for everybody. And just what a delight. I didn't even know you guys existed on this planet, and I am just amazed. So thank you. And Marshall, Reverend Sarah, Jenny, I mean, the whole, it's just an amazing organization. Just really can't say enough. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lars. All right, next up, Carlos, unmute thyself.
There we go. Hi, guys.
Hey.
You hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, you all will hear much more about Carlos if you join us in July, because I don't know if all of you heard the rumor or not, but Compassion Consortium is making a movie. Like, not a YouTube movie. YouTube movies are awesome, but a movie like theater movie. So stay tuned. Sign up for Sunday service in July to hear more from Victoria. And also Phil has put a link in there for Miss Liberty, the movie, into the chat as well. And Carlos is helping make sure that this thing becomes a reality. And we are so grateful to have him on the team. Carlos, thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for being here also. You and Phil and everyone that put so much time into this, and such beautiful words expressed so beautifully. And I'm listening to this after I had a riff thing with my family, about the whole vegan subject. And they're like, it's so hard when you're trying to present to someone the most beautiful things in the world about being compassionate, and they don't even want to listen to it. It's not our thing, but you don't know that it's not your thing because you've only been directed for that to be your thing because of the media, because of our government, because of, old teachers. So, we have to get out of that somehow. And it's sad because, on Father's Day to have a clash with your own family is really hard. And
yeah.
I know you guys know all about that.
We do, and holding you in our thoughts and giving you a big hug today as you navigate. Father's Day can bring up all sorts of things, and you have mentioned one of them that can certainly happen for animal activists and advocates. And so Wishing you ease and peace for the rest of the day, and glad you could spend a little bit of it with us today, because we get you and we love you.
Word.
All right. We'll be in touch.
Thanks,
Right on, right on. All right, next up, Jennifer, unmute thyself.
Hi everyone. Before I head out, I just wanted to say congratulations. You've seen emails from me, you'll see more. And I'm looking forward for all of us getting to know each other and uniting together, all like-minded beings. It just feels wonderful. It gives me chills right now. So I'm just excited for you. Enjoy the weekend and reach out if you have any questions, but I'm very excited. Congratulations.
Right on. All right, next, Geka, unmute thyself. Try that. Yeah, there you go. Hey.
Namaste, everyone. I'm here as Gigi Alexander's friend, so I'm congratulating her. I can't see which box she's in. I hope she's here somewhere. And I want to congratulate. Oh, there she is. And I want to congratulate all of you. And it was such a delight to meet you, Reverend Sarah. Gigi has talked about you through this entire journey that she's been, and I feel like I know you already. And I learned a new word from you, daddish. I love that word. I feel daddish all the time, even though I'm a mom, a stepmom. But it's been so wonderful to spend this hour and a half with all of you. And even though we're all meeting virtually, I am filled with this energy. It's so hard to explain. So thank you, Gigi, for sharing this with me, and congratulations. I know this was such an important day for you. So I'm so happy for you.
Right on. Thank you so much. All right, next up, who wants to say hello? Just raise your hand, or use the emoji tool to raise thy hand, and we could get you talking. Who wants to say anything? Don't be shy. All right, Linda York, unmute thyself. There you go. Go ahead.
We would like to. This is Kevin York, here with my wife Linda, and we are here for Jessica Hoffman, and we want to congratulate her on this achievement. We know how dedicated she has been to the cause of animals for a long time, and this is not just another step in that journey. So we enjoyed the ceremony, and wish her the best in her journey.
Right on.
And happy Father's Day over there.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you.
Oh, I thought that was Jessica.
Right on, right on.
Oh, sorry, right. I thought that was Jessica.
It's all good. All right, next up.
Oh wait, hold on. Did we skip too fast before hearing from Mom? I'm not sure if Mom was talking.
Oh yeah, hold it. Unmute thyself. Here you go. Unmute yourself again. There you go.
I'm good.
That's it? All right.
Congratulations, Jessica. We're proud of you.
Well done. All right. I hereby put your hand down. All right, next. Who wants to say something? Anybody?
I have something in the chat from Sarah Schlott, who has to go, but would like me to pass this on. She would like me to say, congratulations to all of you, and in particular, Karen Kohler. Is it Karen Kohler or Karen Kaler?
Unmute thyself. Oh, let's see.
It's going to be either right now, because she is not being able to unmute herself.
All right, hold it. Try it now. Try unmuting yourself now. There you go. You should be able to do it.
Yes.
There you
Yes,
go.
it's Kaler. And I have my husband here, Rick, and yeah.
Karen Kaler. There we go. We finally got it, folks. After 9 months, I can finally pronounce Karen's last name appropriately. It's about time. Anyway, Sarah Schlota says to you, congratulations to all of you, in particular, Karen. It has been such a privilege to journey together in our respective paths since 2019, and I'm blessed to have you on our assisting team and grateful for your ongoing support, wisdom, care for not only our training program, the students and the animals, but also my family and pets. Your heart is a gift, and I'm excited for what you will continue to offer the world as you become ordained. I like that, Sarah. Yeah.
Yo, Rev, is it okay if I get a shout out in here real quick?
Of course, Phil.
I want to give a shout out to my favorite wood dragon, Elaine, for being such a smarty and being also so awesome, and then going through the education of this. She's always super smart in all the things that she does, and to do this, and then going through death, going through all these different things, the farm stuff, and then still persevering and doing this thing, muscling this thing. I know that you're a woman of faith, and I know that your faith has brought you through this, but also good friends, everybody together. And I wish this for all the wood the wood nymphs, I'm calling you guys out, the wood dragons up there, and just keep doing the thing, and then this whole bunch of people staying together, getting to know each other more, and relying on each other because together we do this. Enough said.
I just want thank you, Phil, because it's people like you that keep people like me going. So the older we get, the more family we don't have around us. And thank you for that love. I mean it. Namaste. I love you, Phil.
Right on, my sis.
Bye-bye.
All right. Who else want to say anything? Because I'm about to get weepy up in here. Anybody?
I think you already got weepy up in that bridge. All right. We appreciate it, Phil. Thank you for all of the folks who are family here. It is so lovely to see your families and your chosen families and your friends, if not to see their photos, to see their names and photos and videos, and see all of you amazing folks. I hope that this was useful to you today, and I can't wait to see what the rest of these folks go out and do in the world.
Jessica wants to say something right now.
Let's see it.
Yes.
I've raised my hand and then lowered it a couple of times, but because from the very beginning of our time together today, I was crying, and I have a whole wad of tissues over here, but Reverend Sarah has taught me that criers are winners. And so I embrace my sensitive crying soul. And I just really do want to say thank you to the whole Compassion Consortium team. This has been a really beautiful time together. And I want to say thank you to my mom, to Kevin, to Jessica, to Joey, to Noodle, and Amy. Amy's on here too. My friends who have supported the last 9 months. I just am so blessed to be surrounded by people who nurture and care for that sensitive part of me, because there was a time I didn't think it was capable to live a life and be this deeply sensitive. And today I know it is possible. And it's not only possible, but it helps other people be okay with it too. And so I'm just so grateful. Thank you.
Right on. That's great to hear. I see a lot of tears, a lot of love in here. All right. Also, things are serious when Noodle gets evoked in the house. All right. Okay.
He's a pig. He's Noodle's a pig, and he has an Instagram if you want to follow Noodle the pig.
Well, you know what? I'm going to be following that because I have some friends that are just really big on pigs. So I'm going to like that and share that. I'm on it right now. Noodle the pig.
I am so curious. You know what? I am not the kind of person who will generally call people out on Zoom, but I have such a curiosity to want to meet someone that I'm going to do it. Now, once I make this invitation, if you're like, no, I am not going to talk on Zoom, that is just fine too. But Jackie, would you introduce me to who you're with? Would you be willing to do that? I would like to know who you're with.
Yes, this is my mom, Helen.
Hi, Helen.
And this is my dad, Ron. They came down to be with me today.
Hi, Ron. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
They've been very supportive and loving, and couldn't do it without them.
Oh, thank you for that. I presumed that they might be family. And so I wanted to check in. Jackie, thank you for allowing us to share your beautiful practice today that gets a lot of minds thinking about the possibility of how open our hearts and how big our hearts can be. And clearly you have a big one and a couple of wonderful people there who taught you how to have such a big, beautiful, compassionate heart. Thank you to your parents. Thank you very much.
Right on. Oh, for the record, 100 people were here today, so that's good stuff. And some of those boxes had more than one person, so well done, well done. Anybody else want to say hi? Don't be shy.
I know some of them are like, I have to go pack. I'm getting ready to leave for New York shortly, so I want to honor that too. But we'll give a last couple minutes here for.
I'd like to show. Lars has got his hand up. I'll wait.
Lars is double dipping. Go for it, Lars.
Unmute thyself, Lars.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to Robin for making my stole. Thank you so much, sweetie. I really appreciate it. I'm really bad with sewing and thread and stuff like that. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I'm so surprised how much the fabric that I chose for it resembled the video that you showed us. That was so beautiful.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. Anyway, again, thank you to everybody at Compassion Consortium. Very much appreciated. Thank you.
Right on. All right.
Can't wait to see this stole. All right, Adele.
I want to thank everybody. It's been a wonderful year. I'm so in awe of my cohort, and I have felt so beautifully held by you, Sarah, and you, Marshall, by the integrity and the exquisite care that has gone into all the compilations of the Compassion Consortium, the engaged members practice circle, all the support and all the wonderful lessons. Thank you all so much.
Thanks, Adele. Back at you. Jessica and someone who's not Jessica.
This is Joey, my boyfriend, and Jess's other friend. So Jessica Hoffman is my best friend. I'm gonna cry. I just love you so much. I'm so happy to be here. You guys are my people. I'm the one with Noodle and Beanie the Dachshund, and I was sending her photos of all of us celebrating her. And so I love her with all my heart, and I'm so happy to be here with you all celebrating. And this is her soul's calling. So I'm very excited to see what's next for her.
Oh, is Noodle black?
Noodle is right here.
Oh, let me see Noodle.
Well, I love that Noodle's getting screen time, by the way.
Sorry, I'm gonna.
He does too.
Yeah, okay. So, and the Instagram is what? Is that Noodle the piggy? Which couple of noodles?
The Instagram is Joy Igniter Jess. So Joy Igniter with an ER and JESS. I would put it in the chat, but I don't think it'll let me talk to everybody.
No, you can now.
Okay.
Yeah, Joy Igniter Jess, I got you. I'm following.
Okay. All right, cool.
Thanks to all three of you for chiming in. Tina.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Oh, I'm Tina's husband. I just wanted to congratulate everyone. Great job. Just wanted to say how proud I am of her and how hard she's worked just at her job and doing this. And she's just beautiful and amazing. And congratulations to her and to all of you guys. So
thank you. Congratulations to Tina picking a pretty good two-legged over there. Well done, Christina, on the husband choosing. Yeah, it's one of the things we didn't, I guess I didn't mention today is most of the people taking this program are also doing full-time work at least one, if not two or three jobs, and doing this program as well. So thank you for raising that up and reminding us that that everybody is incredibly busy and trying to fit this into their lives. And that's something too that is not a small feat. Not a small feat at all. Ginny, you had your hand up. Now's your time.
I did. I actually didn't put my hand up properly, so I just turned unmuted. I just wanted to say to all of you, just many congratulations. It's amazing once you say yes to something like this, what opportunities will open up to you. Even if you think you're not going to do something, you'll be surprised now that you've sort of sent it out into the universe that you're willing. And I also just want to personally thank all the folks that trusted me with their souls this year. I have loved walking along with you and just wonderful, beautiful conversations. I'm looking forward to meeting some of you next weekend. I'll be there in New York. And a particular shout out to Jackie's dad. Happy Father's Day. I happened to have heard some lovely stories about you from Jackie, and I'm just so grateful that I get to meet you in person today. So anyways, God bless, and I can't wait to see you next weekend.
Indeed. Next weekend will be the hybrid hoopla extravaganza. And we will have all these folks together for their sacred service, supporting each other. So we are super excited about all that is coming with that. This is a really good kind of kickoff. I hope all of you feel the support of your family and your friends and each other as we go into those final steps into ordination, which is a pretty powerful and beautiful thing. So thank you all for coming. I know we are running up on 6 o'clock tonight, and we've still got like 50 folks here, which is quite amazing show of dedication. But thank you all for everything you do. And I see a smattering of folks' names in here who will be with us next year for the cohort. So welcome to you. And here's a little bit preview, I suppose, of what you might be experiencing or be part of in a year. See how the experience is for you. But it's nice to see your names. They are not lost on me that you are here already, even though classes begin in September. So we love you, and we are grateful that you are here. Also, thanks again to Dr. Jeff for his support of this program and for being here. Karen, it looks like you're going to get the final word.
I am. I deserve it. Okay, so to the people that are coming up, this will be the hardest class you've ever loved. There's going to be times you'll want to quit because it's overwhelming sometimes, and that's okay. I talked to Marshall, I talked to Sarah, I talked to Ginny, and they all said, you know what, you do whatever you need to do. You have choice. And that gave me the strength to go on. And I love my cohort. And my friend Patty is here we've known each other for 50 years, you know. My friends who came to support me. My friends, my crones are here. It's beautiful. I knew I'd cry, but at least I'm not telling you another horse story. So something to be grateful for. I love you all. Thank you.
Karen, we love your horse stories, and we love you so much. All right, folks, big hug. Big hug, big butterflies. Big hug to all of you. Thank you to all of your friends and families and you compassionists who showed up today for a different kind of service than we usually have to honor our amazing cohort that has been journeying together. We are so delighted that you are here. We hope to see you in July. And those of you who just were visiting today, come anytime. We would love to see you again at another Sunday service. And that's a wrap, Phil. Thank you.
Got it. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a great
night,
one.
folks.